Good morning, everybody. You're tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Edmund, your host for the next few hours, along with Nick.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. And Spence is here.
Are we going to break away to live Olympic coverage as needed?
As needed, yeah. Especially if
I've already
it's
got
curling.
something I'd like to cover.
Gonna jip it?
Especially
sorry.
if it's curling, so you can curl your hair.
That's it.
Mike is also here.
They have a curling
Hey, Mike.
exhibition.
Well, that's funny.
Good morning.
Because my picture's not on the opening.
Your picture is not on the opening of the Olympics? Yes, it is.
Of the
I
show.
saw it.
Computers 2K now.
Yes.
Have you
What
heard
do you
of-
mean your picture's not on the opening?
Hello? That's English.
Our number is 919-518-9773. Computers 2K voice on Skype. And
Hey,
today's
man, you
show,
need to drag your browser up. You can see the taskbar in.
and today's show is made possible by vMix Software, Telestream's Wirecast software, and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. Sorry, Nick, you were saying?
You need to drag the bookmark bar is like in the shot for the Hangout
The bookmark bar? Oh, it
in
is?
Chrome.
Oh. Interesting. It's not here, is it? No, it's not.
No.
So it's in here.
Yeah.
All right. Let's and this is overlay 2.
So who knows
Exciting.
anything about credit cards being stolen? How do they take? Well, I know how they can get the information, but how do they actually make cards?
You can buy you can buy a device on Amazon that makes cards, I believe. Or you
Is that
used
o-
to be able to.
Is that okay, Nick?
Yeah, that looks good.
Now, this is strange. I can't get Vivaldi to work.
Yeah, Suspense. You can buy these.
Writers, card
So-
writers.
This thing is it's expensive. It's $178. It's a credit card reader, scanner, swiper, write encoder with 20 blank cards and a USB ID.
But you
Jeez.
get the money back quickly.
Yeah.
I just this is the second time in less than a year that my credit card has been apparently duplicated, and an attempt to make a purchase was made last night at a Home Depot in Virginia.
Mm.
So I get a notification right away from my card provider, which is great. And so it was canceled right away. Did you make this purchase? No, because it doesn't fit my profile. But I got, why don't they implement PIN codes for cards with chips?
Yeah, I thought that was supposed to make the security
That would
a
have made it
non-issue.
very secure.
Yeah, they'll call me and they'll say, "Mr. Phillips, this doesn't look like your pattern?" I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "These are very small purchases."
Under
cool.
$1,000.
Yeah.
Here's one on Amazon, $67, Spence, with blank cards.
Yeah, but look at
What
the ROI.
what
on
is
these
it
things.
for?
That's very quick.
What do you mean? What is it for?
Why are they selling it for? For what purpose?
So that you could
Duplicate?
steal Spence's information with one of those things, and then upload it to an individual card and swipe it.
But how do they steal if they just have your? Well, I guess they could scan it when you make a purchase, like when you hand your card to somebody at a restaurant. That's really the only time that they walk away with your card.
Or your the gas station, the filter on the gas station pump.
Yeah, if you have
walk around with those
skimmer.
Skimmer, yeah. I always look at that. I always look very carefully at the reader.
You just pull at it. You just take it and try to pull in it. It'll come right off if it's a skimmer. Yeah, so $67 with a couple blank cards, and it actually shows what the software looks like. I wish it doesn't show an example of what it does. But
I wonder if, in this case, what they're doing is they're duplicating the card and attempting to swipe it. Where
they're swiping it,
where there is, in fact, a chip reader.
Well, they're probably going to some. Not everywhere has chip readers.
Oh, I know, but Home Depot does.
That is true. But I thought, now if your card has, well, I guess there's cards that still don't have chips. So they're saying, oh, no, this card doesn't have a chip. And that's how they're doing it.
But Citibank would know that. So they would deny it because they said, wait, they're swiping this at a place that's got chip readers.
I wonder if that was part of their theft protection. Is seeing that there was a swiped transaction at a place that doesn't fit the profile.
Yeah, because I made purchases last weekend. I was in Atlanta. I was buying gas, went to grocery stores and restaurants.
Yeah, but I'm sure you used the chip when you did, and that can't be spoofed to my knowledge. At least yet.
It's not as secure as we think, but yeah. But the good news is the bad news is I have to wait for them to send me another card. So
if these were a little bit cheaper, I'd love to buy one of these and see how well this thing actually works. I wonder if I could spoof my own credit card and use it for purchases.
And they
is that illegal?
Probably says something in the EULA for using the card.
Yeah.
That says you can't without authorization.
Huh.
Yeah, you use it at Costco. Yeah, it's not a Visa card. Can't use it.
Costco doesn't have Visa?
No, Costco only takes Visa.
Oh, well, I guess I'm not getting a Costco membership.
Or a debit card.
Will they use like a MasterCard debit card? Yes. It has to be a Visa debit card.
No, I think I've only used a Visa debit card there, so I'm not sure.
Your bank will give you MasterCard or Visa if you ask.
This little credit union will not.
Have you asked?
Yes, I did, because Sam's Club in New York never used to take MasterCard. Until very recently. I always had to use cash, which isn't the worst thing in the world. I can't believe these devices are very inexpensive. This is incredible.
And these are sold in the States?
Sold on Amazon Prime. But think about it. There is other companies.
That's what I mean. What would the legal use of this be?
Company have a door key card system for a locked door in an office complex. I mean, there's a whole bunch of things that you could use this for.
Nick, it's not Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
it's not Amazon Prime. It's Amazon Prime.
It is Amazon Prime. Yes, their new service. Yeah, I mean, any type of locked door that you would want to put some type of key code access on with a swiper. These are just blank card. I mean, here's the thing: you're not going to get away using a blank card at a store. That is
right.
Unless you do self checkout. But this is pretty interesting. John says he saw a demo on TV of a man using a hotel room key to make a purchase. So you take those cards, and then I guess you can do whatever you want with them. You just rewrite the magnetic strip.
Yeah, I don't know that they come with multiple tracks or anything on the strip or not.
Yeah,
if it's how that's formatted, but I guess you could reformat it.
This one has 3 tracks: track 1, track 2, track 3. Read, write, erase. Oh, so you can erase.
Can you put music on it?
I don't know. Every time you.
A very short song.
Oh, now here you go, Spence. For $49, you can buy a 10-pack of cards with chip.
Oh,
blank.
No. Really?
Amazon. Yeah, Amazon Prime as well. I could have it February 13th if I check out in the next 10 hours. Huh. Now, this seems shady.
Yeah.
What did you search under to find that?
I searched for the card reader and it showed up as people also purchased. Here, I'm gonna
Other criminals also purchased this.
I'll post a link to it. Hey, if you're stupid enough to do stuff like this, go for it. And you can get different colors. You can get a white with a black magnet. You can get a silver magnet. Look at that. These are expensive, but I guess if you're committing crimes, it doesn't really matter.
Wow.
Multi-purpose. These cards can be used to store personal information for photo ID, financial information for credit card use, or retailers who want to sell gift cards. Oh, okay, so I see why you could use this as well. If you make gift cards in-house for a small company, that would be another use, Amnon.
Yeah.
If you own a little store downtown, you get a couple cards, you got 100 cards printed up with your logo, and then you swipe it and put the total on.
Yeah, this is amazing. Buying the one with the chip built in.
Yeah, but I guess how do you program the chip? Because what is the actual chip in a credit card do?
I don't know.
It's instead of the magnetic tape on the back. I mean, or it's a duplicate because there's some.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then as long as you have,
I mean, I'm sure it's got more. I'm sure it's got more stuff in it because they said that it's safer. A lot of merchants are saying
got a unique ID.
Yeah,
definitely.
I don't know, but you guys mentioned Prime, and I didn't know it. That if you link Twitch with Prime, you don't get ads.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Or Twitch.
All you have to do is just link it.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what if
there's other benefits. We'll have you subscribe to our Twitch channel with your free Amazon Prime monthly subscribe, and it actually gives the content creators money. Fun fact.
Oh, so I should unsubscribe and then resubscribe?
Yeah, well, I'll show you how to do it Tuesday.
Okay.
There's a new option.
Because I just went to Twitch to do it, and it says, link your Prime. And I said, and I was trying to read and see if there's any gotchas, but I don't see any gotchas. But sure enough, the minute I went there were no ads. Neat. Already paying for it.
Here's a real dubious one, Spence, a Bluetooth one.
I saw that, yeah.
But these are $200.
Well,
interesting.
Do they have locksmith tools on here too?
Yeah, yes, they actually do. I was going to buy locksmiths.
Lock picks, sure, and bump keys.
They do. They've got a whole bunch of locksmith sets. Amazon Prime as well. But as Alan was saying, but they won't sell Cody boxes because that's illegal.
Oh, amazing.
So, Spence, they stole your number, and Equifax said in a document submitted to the Senate Banking Committee and reviewed by the Wall Street Journal that cyber thieves accessed records across numerous tables in its system that included such data as tax ID numbers, email addresses, and driver's license information beyond the license numbers it originally disclosed. So apparently they got more information than what they originally told us. And the saga continues. In the last 3 months or so, I did see an increase in the numbers of customers that called and told me that their credit card changed because it got compromised. And it's I don't know, even though, knock on wood, mine never did. I mean, you still feel bad. I mean, feel kind of, not bad, but feel threatened, violated, whatever it is. when somebody gets it and does things with it. I guess you have to leave emotions out of it, and as long as you don't lose any money, it's, in my opinion, it's still up to them to strengthen the security behind purchasing, behind having a credit card. I still don't understand that debit card with just 4 digits. Come on. You know, it's asking for trouble.
Well, not even that. You don't even have to. I use a debit card as my main source of paying for stuff. I don't even use the debit card. I don't think I've ever used it as a debit card. Honest to God, I don't think I've ever used
credit
it as a
card.
once. Yeah. I pulled cash out of an ATM once with it. I've never touched it besides that.
Yeah. It's like the Microsoft Store. They try to make it easy for everybody to. Yeah, it's just, I mean, you know, it's Windows vulnerable, not because Windows is vulnerable. Yeah, it is, but not because they left everything open. So everybody could configure and do servers.
I am just dumbfounded that you can buy these things on Amazon.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I mean, this is nuts. Hey, what's our budget for show product? Can we get one of these? Can we get one of these readers, and I'll come over to your house and I'll borrow your credit cards for the day and see what happens?
Comes with its own SBI agent.
The budget is unlimited.
Excellent. Spence, who do I send this to?
We just
send a PO in.
With the new budget deal, we just increased our line of credit.
Yes, the tax reform. Got all this money to spend.
That's it. The government needs to buy a bunch of these.
This is nuts. Well, you ever wanted a new hobby?
Hobby.
Well,
yeah. So that way you're preparing yourself for building ships in a bottle when you're in prison.
I mean, there's questions in here. When I put this card in an ATM, how can I know the passcode of the card? I mean, this is literally somebody asking how you. Oh my God!
Yeah, if it was your card, you could know.
This is. How is Amazon okay? How is there not an issue selling these credit card
I don't
writers on
understand
Amazon? Does this ship to Oregon? There's some shitty people buying this.
Yeah.
Can the software read 4-digit pins? No, it can't. That would be totally illegal. Oh, okay. Just to verify this lovely Amazon customer.
They should ask, is it illegal in Oregon?
Nick, don't look at it too much.
Why?
Because don't get involved in this.
Oh, you mean you think I'm going to drop $70? Or I'm on an Amazon on a card reader? You don't know me very well.
Okay.
Amron, next time I come up, I'll babysit your wallet for a little while. Everything will be fine. We'll be good to go.
So, talking about Amazon is planning to take on UPS and FedEx with a new shipping service named Shipping with Amazon, SWA. The new service will reportedly roll out in Los Angeles in the coming weeks. I don't think it's going to be hard for anybody to compete with these companies. I wish they do letters like the post office.
Well, FedEx destroys about 50% of the stuff they deliver to your house. So
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's not hard to compete with these.
Well, I was looking at the other day in Raleigh. They've got the
drop off.
Well, not the drop off, the thing where you can go and become a driver for Amazon for $21 an hour.
Oh, really? Yeah, well, come in. I mean, they're going to have to get drivers. So it's
Well, the drivers now are contractors.
which is
The
fine.
local people that deliver same day are
Yeah,
contractors.
there's
But
nothing
they
wrong.
are. Well, if it's like anything else they do, it'll be a sweatshop operation.
No, I mean,
Unfortunately.
look, if you're providing a job for somebody and you don't want to get into all the paperwork and taxes and all this, then what's wrong with that? A lot of companies work with contractors. It makes sense in one way. It's not just a matter of sweatshops. It's easier to get rid of a contractor than it is to get rid of a,
Oh, of course.
and you don't know these people, and unless you say, okay, well, you are on a trial for a year, so you can get rid of them easily within the first year. But did you see that there was a story on the news about an Amazon driver that walked in somebody's house and they just wandered all over the place? And Amazon, when the guy saw it on the camera, he complained, and Amazon came back with, "Oh, the guy got confused in your house." I mean,
He was looking for the safest place to put the box down.
in the house, inside.
Yeah.
Right.
Didn't you know, Amnon, that Amazon now provides with delivery a free home safety check?
Oh, wow. What a deal.
It's I would love to see a competitor to these, especially the post office. I mean, the post office is getting worse and worse and worse, and they don't even care.
Well, they don't
No,
care
well,
because it
there's no
doesn't matter
competition.
that they lose money because there's no accountability. for
That's
losing
their
money.
problem, that they're losing money.
Oh, of course. But it's our problem because we're paying for it.
They have less services, and it keeps going up. Where's the money going to? Come on, give me a break. They're still more expensive. The whole model doesn't work. But
There is one
the point is,
service that I use from the post office that is absolutely worth it. That is, you can ship a bulk rate box from here to Alaska and Alaska back for the same price as if I was to ship it to Tennessee.
yeah.
And it goes by air because it's the only way it can go.
So
And it usually takes 2 or 3 days, and it's the same price.
So tell me, how is this a good
Cost-effective.
business? Yeah,
Not
I mean,
cost-effective, but it's a great deal if you live in Alaska.
Great deal for the consumer, but the government's getting hosed
Yeah.
on it. But
Oh yeah, but they don't care. Why? It's
well,
not.
that's the thing.
It's other people's money. So yeah,
I don't know.
I try to use FedEx as much as I can. It's usually pretty competitive for home delivery. Because the bulk rate is okay, but if it's a light box, you're still paying the same amount. So FedEx at least will give some consideration to weight.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
That password resetter.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot simpler than what the paper is. The steps on the paper. It's a lot simpler.
That paper is to enable
Yeah.
the administrator account to allow you to do things.
Yeah.
The fact that you figured out a shortcut just to reset a password is a separate function, but it's very useful. It's better to do it that way than it is to use the administrator account to do it.
Yeah, and I went and I decided to change the to replace that util whatever with the that was replaced. I reversed.
We're not going to tell this whole thing.
No, I reversed it and went in.
Right. You put it back
And-
the way it was.
Right, and
Right.
you could log in and you could change the administrator password then because you are an administrator.
Correct.
And she took it and she put the password that she wanted, and she said, thank you. I told her that Mike figured out a way and found something, and we finally did it.
Has there been a white van out in front of your house, Mike?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
And the truth is, I don't see how Microsoft could patch something like this, because it's not. I mean, you can still get to a shell and you can still replace files. I don't see how they're going to be able to do something about it.
Look,
So-
we've been doing this stuff a long time. We just learned about it. What
Yeah,
makes you
I
think
know.
that there are enough people who know about it to make it worth their time?
Right. That's true. And I think Dr. John called. No, I can't remember. One of our listeners called and wanted to know how to do it. He heard you talking about it, and he said, can you help me with this? Because I have my machine, and I just walked him through it. I didn't hear.
And
I
what we're
didn't-
saying, if you didn't hear us talking about it, we found a way to get into Windows if you don't know the password. And it is so simple, it's disgusting. We're not going to put it on the air. We
No.
got it off the internet. You can find it on the internet. But any of our regular listeners, if you got a problem, call us. We'll talk you through it. We know who you are. We don't mind sharing it with you because it's available. We're just not going to put it out there because this show is available on YouTube and other
Right.
places. We just don't want to get into it. Not it's a big deal. It's just something I don't think it's a good idea to celebrate.
No, there's no reason to celebrate. But it's a tool that you use in extreme cases. But it's,
Well, I wouldn't hesitate to use it under any case, but I'm not going to abuse it.
well, that's if you use it under any case, that's a kind of an abuse. But I just wanted to say that it's one. I didn't even look at the papers to reverse it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, let's see and poof, 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 and it was fine.
There are
So-
a couple of little nuances to it. Once you get those nuances, it's almost trivial.
Yep. 919-518-9773, Computers 2K Voice on Skype.
Now, you were talking about the alternate shipping services,
Yeah.
first class mail.
Right.
Unless something has changed in the last 30 years, it's illegal for anyone but the United States Postal Service to carry mail.
Really?
If you a first class letter, if you send a first class letter, I don't know where things changed in the last 30 years. Dr. John would probably know, but if you sent a letter, if I sent you a package by FedEx
Yeah.
and put a first class letter to you in an envelope, number 10 envelope, addressed Dear Amnon, I'm supposed to put a first class stamp on it. And the reason why, it sounds ridiculous until you understand the reason why. And it's exactly what Spencer was saying. I don't know how much it costs to send a letter anymore, but if it's 43 cents or
49.
41 or how much?
49.
I thought it went down.
It did go down.
Uh,
Not a lot, but it did go down. Yeah.
Which I don't think it should have gone down. It should have been left alone, and they should have learned to manage money. Just kidding. But whatever the price is, it costs the same to mail it from you to me as it does from Spencer to someone in Alaska, because when the postal system was established, it was decided that there needed to be universal service, which is okay. I mean, I'm okay with that. What that means is they can deliver the letter. If it's 49 cents, it might cost them 39 cents to get it from you to me, but it might cost 59 cents to get it to Anchorage. But the fact is that it's universal service that allows you to communicate with anybody in the United States for the same price.
And the rub of that is the package delivery stuff. They're getting it in almost the same time frame. Maybe it's a day or two longer, but that's incredible when you think about it. It should be going by barge if it's bulk rate, but it doesn't. It goes by air.
It's probably more expensive to go by barge because even in a lot of these, and I'm getting ready to talk about something I really don't know what I'm talking about, but from what I understand is that in some of these routes, whenever the Postal Service sends mail, they're getting leftover space on the airplane. They're not paying a premium for it because it's regular, dependable, repeatable business for the airlines. They're able to round up their checkbook by getting this extra carriage from the Postal Service.
So, Mike, are you saying that if I take a regular envelope and I want to send a letter in it, I cannot go to FedEx and said I want to ship this, or
Not legally.
really?
It has to be in their packaging.
Yes, yeah, and well, no.
I
listen
mean,
to what I'm telling you.
for the express services, it has to be in their packaging.
Express is different,
No,
but I
I'm
was told that even whenever FedEx letters, when it used to be affordable to send a FedEx letter, that when you put, if I'm going to send a letter by FedEx Express overnight, when it absolutely positively has to be over there overnight unless they don't get it there in time, you had to put a first class stamp on that letter and then put it inside the FedEx envelope. Now,
Wow.
nobody does that anymore. Whether the law has changed, I don't know. But I know of no one who does that. But at the time, that was the law.
Very interesting.
Yeah, probably due to the tariffs that the post office.
No, they had a government monopoly on first class mail delivery.
Well, that's what I mean. They had something in a commercial tariff that said this is what we do. This is the only person who can do it. Plus, I think, another reason for that would be because then that mail that's sent by FedEx would fall under the postal inspector's purview. So it could if you send it by FedEx, maybe it didn't count as wire fraud or mail fraud, but if you sent it by mail, it would. But now everything is covered, all transportation of all written literature or whatever.
Yeah, well, I can tell you that one of the last things you want to do is commit mail fraud through the United States Postal Service. If you ever get on their radar, you've got a problem.
What is considered
a lot of the time? That's the way they'll get these people that they can't get on other charges. They get them on mail fraud.
What is it? What exactly is mail fraud?
It is
sending a false letter.
Well, it's for example, mail fraud is Maxine Waters saying, "Send me money and I'll represent your interest in Congress."
Okay, gotcha.
I'm just kidding.
No, I got. No, I understand.
It's Nigerian scams. It is anything, for example, where they're soliciting funds under false pretenses. Any sort of illegal scam. If the activity is a scam, then using the Postal Service to propagate that scam is mail fraud.
Gotcha.
It's a very, 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 very broad category. They can twist it into just about anything you want it to be. Going forward, sending a conservative letter would probably be considered mail fraud.
As it should be. People are the worst.
Right.
Well, I've got an interesting story.
That's a joke, people. We're kidding.
No, we're not.
Sort of.
It's not. No, we're not.
All right, Nick, go ahead.
Best Buy is pulling all of its CDs from its shelves. Starting, I believe, later this year.
That used to take up a lot of space.
Well, it takes. I was in the Best Buy in Cary last weekend, and they must have had 4 aisles dedicated to CDs and stuff like that. Maybe when I say 4 aisles, I mean 2 on one middle aisle and 1 on each side. But I mean that's a large chunk of the store they're gonna have to fill with some other, garbage that nobody buys at a Best Buy. So
no stick pots and pans. That's what they're gonna sell.
Yeah, no stick pots. They've got a huge appliance section at that Best Buy.
Are we talking blank CDs or are we talking music CDs?
No, we're talking music.
Didn't they experiment with a kiosk that would write the disc for you right there at one point?
They did. And I was reading about that because that was one of the responses to this article. So Best Buy has just told music sellers that it will pull CDs from stores come July 1st. At that point, they will no longer have CDs in stores. They will still have DVDs, but no CDs, no music CDs.
Yeah, because nobody buys it that way.
Didn't you say, but they are going to keep the vinyl?
They are keeping vinyl, but their vinyl selection is typically very small compared to their CD selection.
It's just
vinyl
Taylor
is hip.
And actually, Taylor Swift is mentioned in this article, Mike. You'd be a big fan. For Mike's favorite artist, Best Buy moved 500,000 CDs for Taylor Swift's new album. So that's
Frankie.
now, I wonder.
Frankie Yankovic has an album.
Well, considering the CDs are really used for skeet shooting, and Best Buy doesn't sell guns, so that's really a stunning statistic that they would sell that many targets for skeet shooting.
You
They're not even useful for that.
You love her. This is an interesting move. Now the question is, what will Barnes and Noble do? Because if you go into a Barnes and Noble, they've literally got a quarter of their store for CDs. Same thing with FYE, and who else is still left open? Everybody else is closed. Does Office Max, Office Depot sell CDs? I don't think so.
No, they're going to put in a whole series and selection of vagina hats.
Oh, that'll be exciting.
I heard they're doing away with it.
CDs?
No, the hats.
The hats. Okay.
No, seriously, they decided, well, it didn't quite. I think they did polling on it, and most people said you're out of your mind. So
here's the real question, though. What are they going to do with these CDs that are sitting on their store shelves? You're going to be able to get these things at pennies on the dollar. They're going to go in liquidation, right? Can't sell them back to the vendor.
Did you stop and look at what the crap is on the shelf? Who would want it?
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who would want it.
Well,
somebody is going to. It does. No. Listen. The reason it matters is either Best Buy has paid for those CDs up front and they're going to take a hit on them, or they're going to just send them back. Okay.
They send them back and then they'll go to Amazon and Amazon will sell them.
Okay, so Best Buy doesn't own those CDs. The music company does.
Incorrect. Unless it's changed. We used to own a music store. Unless it has changed, they buy them, but they're guaranteed returns.
Okay.
Kind of like books, right? Where you could return books.
Things have changed. We had a limit as to the number we could return. It was something like 15 or 20% of what we purchased, which is very high, but it didn't hurt the company because they would sell them to someone else who could sell them. It would be the benefit of having a chain, but they'll probably put them on sale and get rid of them. I mean, if they mark them down, they'll get rid of 75% of what they want to get rid of, and they'll end up throwing out the rest. They don't care.
So here's the other question then. Why? Why are they getting rid of them? Why are they getting rid of them?
There's only one reason they're getting rid of them. They can make more money off the floor space.
See, I disagree with that.
Well, that's okay. You can be wrong. It's okay.
I mean, you go into a Best Buy, there is so much unused open floor space that nobody goes to anyway.
But see, that's where you're misinformed.
Okay.
If you, and I'm sincere, I'm not being funny on this. You go into a store that is packed to the gills, wall to wall. It's disgusting to try to walk around in it. It does not create a good shopping experience. Often in retail design and layout, the blank space is just as important as the filled space. It has to provide walking space. You don't bump into people walking down the aisles. It gives it a little sense of air. These things are very, very professionally organized and arranged. So I can just tell you that they're going to look at this taking this amount, and it's not just the square footage. I mean, I imagine the work that it takes to maintain that inventory accurately, and I know how things can sit there for years when no one wants it, like Taylor Swift CDs. They probably still got some of the original ones that were ever released. And having said that, and the company, I'm sure, won't take those back. So you look at the amount of money they make per square foot on that floor space, the amount of employee time it takes to go into keeping that space up to date. They can make more money with other things, and they have a duty to do that. Why would they want to sell CDs? How many people? When's the last time anybody here walked into Best Buy and bought a CD?
Yeah, true.
I've purchased plenty of them on Amazon.
No, I agree with you. I guess the question is, what are they going to do? No, and if they're just going to leave that space blank,
all right,
that makes sense.
They'll not leave it blank.
They may be offering it to a vendor. Because look at the way they have a little Apple store inside the store, and they have a little Bose store, and they have all these different showcase products. It could be like the end cap in a grocery store where you have to pay to get your product on the end cap.
Yeah, no, it's a loser. And I'll tell you why. I just thought of one other thing too that's convincing. A small item like a CD is very inexpensive to ship. Best Buy does not have you can't ship a refrigerator from Amazon economically. You can pick it up at you can have it picked up or delivered, whatever, at Best Buy. their best marketing is not in small shippable items like that.
You can have them ship the refrigerator in lots of little pieces.
Yeah, no, that's what FedEx will do for you.
Put it together. Yeah, they'll do that as a service.
Yeah. I'm gonna drive over to Best Buy this afternoon. I'm curious how big their CD section is.
You need to go in there and whine and pitch a fit that they should not take your CDs out of that store.
That's a great idea. I'll record it.
What am I going to do when I have an urgent need for this particular artist at
Amazon.
9 o'clock in the evening when you're about to close?
What will I do when I'm already spending $15 a month on Spotify, but I need to go to the store and buy a physical CD to listen to the
Now,
music
see,
anyway?
you laugh. There you go. That's what the problem is.
No, I understand that's the problem. I just seems like, why now? The CDs haven't been relevant for years. Why now? It's just, I don't know. Something they've either realized they're losing a whole bunch of money, or who knows.
Why now? I didn't know they were still selling them.
Well, but my point exactly. This wasn't a switch that happened overnight. I mean, people probably haven't bought CDs in stores in over 5 years.
Apparently,
Not
somebody
longer.
has. All right, chat room. Who here has bought a CD from Best Buy in the last 2 years?
I've never purchased a CD at Best Buy ever, I don't think.
In the last 2 years. Who in the chat room has purchased a CD? You don't have to tell us if it was Taylor Swift. That's okay. Just say yes, you did or did not purchase a CD. I didn't say a good CD. I said a CD.
Yeah, just a CD.
Okay, chat room's dead. Ross purchased one in 2016.
There you go.
That doesn't keep Best Buy in business. John did.
One CD keeps Best Buy in business. I'm looking for a store layout picture. I can't seem to find one.
All right, let's go to something else here. And I'm wondering, did any of you?
Well, hang on.
Oh.
John says his wife likes them in the car. Well, let me tell you about that. And I'm a big fan. If you need to get a new car radio with a USB plug on it, go get you a little one of these little small USB keys, a little small one like that. Drag all of your favorite music onto it. This is 16 gigabytes. If you drag MP3 on it, you can probably get every CD you own onto this key. You plug it into the USB port on your radio, and it'll play forever.
Yeah, but what if I have a CD player in the car changer, or
Well,
even a player?
Reality, it's going to stop working before long.
No, I can make my own CDs.
Your player is going to stop working before long.
Oh yeah, it will.
I mean, seriously, after 10 years, if these things make it in the dash 10 years, you're lucky.
I know my car's broken.
John, what do you mean it's too complicated? All you do is hit the play button. And there's a guy in Durham who put a radio in for $100 plus labor.
Oh, Mike, I've got a question for you, totally unrelated. I know Amnon wants to move on, but is your cell phone guy in the mall at South Point?
No, but they have them over there.
Yeah, okay, because I saw that and I was curious. I don't know what reminded me of it.
My guy's just down. Let's see. Do you remember where Kroger is?
Yes.
Across the street.
Okay, but it's the same store?
No.
Oh, it's not the same store.
No, that's just one guy.
Oh.
All right, so did you guys hear about Facebook Watch?
Their video service?
Yeah, I don't know. Facebook is talking about expanding its TV-like service, Watch, into a rival to Google's YouTube by opening the platform to more individual creators.
Yes.
This would increase the amount of long-form video content that Facebook can sell ads against, and could reverse a decline in the time users are spending on the site. Facebook wants to allow more people to create their own shows on Watch. I never heard about Watch, but
it was announced last August. I don't know that it's been popular at all.
Well, I've been looking at it because I've been looking to try to implement this for some of the things we're doing. It still only is limited to certain people. there's a radio show that I follow on Facebook, and they release, and I get a notification that says a new episode is available to watch for the herd. It pops up as it's like as a show, and going through it, there's no way to. I don't see I haven't figured out a way to add your own content. You have it's all from
right. They're talking about expanding it into a rival. I mean, it's not there,
but it was
yet.
already supposed to be. That was the whole point of it. Like Fox has got one on here, Fox News, ESPN.
This looks more like a YouTube derivative than it is an actual provider, because it says Facebook keeps 45% of their ad break revenue, and they're adding mid-roll advertising to the videos.
No, thank you.
So, no, this is why would I my daughter got an interesting call the other day from Spectrum, saying that they're going to offer now a la carte channels.
Really?
Yes. And I was like, really? Which channels? And how are they? And if they don't offer them on demand, it's not worth it.
I'd totally buy a la carte channels. I'd totally buy sports channels and stuff like that I'd actually watch.
No, they have the crochet channel. That's it.
And the curling channel.
The curling channel. That's right. Curling 24/7.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing about YouTube Live, and if they're going to do the same thing with this, is that they don't allow you to stream to multiple sources. Like, we cannot you're not supposed to stream to Facebook and to YouTube. If I'm a creator, I want to send it to both because I'm trying to make money, and a lot of these people are making money over there. So unless they do away with this rule, I don't know how it's going to work out.
Whose rule is it?
Facebook.
Oh yeah, that's not going to happen. They're not going to be able to do that.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's a pain in the you know what.
I found an article here on Mashable saying that Facebook Watch will overtake YouTube as the biggest video platform.
Yeah, not going to happen. Well, actually, it might. YouTube is consistently shooting themselves in the foot. So it actually might. Maybe it will.
Let me tell you what will be disastrous is if YouTube says, "Okay, we've got to get lean and mean. We're going to start eliminating any videos that have low views and they're more than 1 year old."
Yeah, that would be the end of them.
They won't do it.
I don't know.
Google will pull the plug on anything any minute if they can make 10 cents more.
Or they'll start to charge any content older than a certain amount that you have to pay for.
I mean, a lot of the stuff I watch, even like Nick and I will look at some of the jingle sessions, jingle singers, things like that. 27 views, 54 views, stuff is absolute classic.
I honest to God, and this is gonna sound weird. I have been, when I find a YouTube video that I enjoy, if it's like more of a longer format thing, I download it and I host it on my home server. I got a whole bunch of stuff on here.
You need to cut that out, Amnon.
The what?
Because Nick's going to prison.
Yeah. Scanning my credit card.
Nick is in prison already.
Oh.
Yeah. He just let it. They let him out on a regular basis. That's all. He has to report there every night.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff on here. Because honest to God, this stuff will just, what happens is not that they go through and delete stuff, but they'll go through and their algorithm will do a whole nother set of videos where they'll tag them for copyright claims. They'll tag the content and say it's invalid content. So if you really enjoy something that you watch on YouTube, you better go and download that if you want to hold on to it, because it will just disappear.
There is so much good stuff on YouTube. It would take a lot of hard drives and tremendous amount of time to grab the sorts of things that I'm interested in, because at my age, I'm interested in a lot more things than you are. And it's just amazing what's there. It's just ridiculous.
Great documentaries, older ones, but still some really interesting stuff. People have really spent a lot of time creating some very unique channels
Now, there's stuff they could go in there and get rid of. For example, if somebody wants to hear the latest version of Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo by Edgar Winter Group, there might be 54 versions of it, and 3 of them are good, and the other ones are crap.
Well,
Yeah, I downloaded a video a couple of years ago, and it's no longer available.
because of copyright or because
It's just gone. I would assume it's copyright. It's just gone. It is not available on YouTube. You cannot find it anymore.
Gene wants to know, how do you stop Windows 10 Assistant from telling me I don't have enough memory in my small laptop to do an update? You could get more memory.
Memory.
Yeah.
Can't you increase the virtual? What do you call it? The shoot.
I don't think that'll help because it's got to store. Problem is, it's got to pre-store, like especially the big updates, an enormous amount of data. It won't do it on the fly. It wants to download the whole thing, check it before it installs it. So,
Yeah, but if you can go and you can say that my swap file is
it's not a swap file. It's downloading the install media to the machine.
right.
And it has to have enough room to hold the whole thing. So even if the swap file is bigger, if you're out of disk space, you're out of disk space.
No. Oh, if you're out of disk space, I don't think that's what he means.
Oh, what was
He
that?
probably he's probably talking about it, telling him that he doesn't have memory, RAM.
Well, that doesn't make any sense. If you Windows 10 has not changed their system requirements.
Either that or it has to open a file that's too big, like the latest creators update. It may have to have an enormous amount of memory to write the file. That's possible too.
No, he means disk space. Yeah, no,
Disk space. Okay.
definitely not memory.
Yeah, if it's disk space, then you need to clean it up.
I put a video up on YouTube. Remember the live fire exercise, Amnon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still up there, but that was
Yeah.
my content. I've shot it. So that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, most of the stuff will stay there unless there's a good reason to take it off.
10,000 views.
Wow. How much money did you make on that?
Nothing. Unless they just forgot to send me the check.
Oh,
Now-
video you posted?
Hmm?
What were you talking about? A video you posted?
Yeah, Amnon got an invitation for us to go out to Fort Bragg to see a live fire exercise, and I videotaped it and I made a video of it and put it up on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm not big on posting YouTube videos. I did post one, the only one of me ever playing a guitar. I posted it on YouTube. And one of the first comments was, "It's great, except the guitar player sucks."
That's a friend of yours that did that.
No, it's not. It's really funny because the guy who played it on the record said I nailed it.
And talking about Facebook, Seattle Election Authority said on Monday that Facebook is in violation of a city law, that requires disclosure of who buys election ads. The first attempt of its kind to regulate U.S. political ads on the internet.
Russian.
And it says Facebook must disclose details about spending in last year's Seattle city elections on face penalties. Wayne Barnett, executive director of the Seattle Ethics and Election Commission. The penalties could be up to $5,000 per advertising buy. And he's adding that he would discuss next steps this week with Seattle city attorneys. So, Facebook's supposed to let the city of Seattle know how many people purchase ads. I mean, what is it now? A police state? I mean, you want to...
No, they probably sold an ad to a conservative.
No, they sold ads to Russians. They admitted that they sold ads to Russians.
conservatives.
Oh, I forgot. They're one and the same.
What are you thinking?
I guess I'm not using. It's too early. I'm not using my brain.
Look, it's an interesting question. It's not as cut and dried as you would think it is because of election laws and how broad they can reach. The fact of the matter is, though, I've been involved in city government. I know what their appetite is for litigation. I know how they're snowflakes and they melt under the least bit of pressure. I am anxious to see Facebook get involved with litigation against Seattle.
And it's not going to happen. No way.
Oh, I don't know.
You think so?
No, I don't necessarily think so. I'm just saying, don't rule it out. You never know, because if they're looking at what they consider to be billions of dollars, they'll go after it. Money changes people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking in general. I mean, if I'm going to buy a commercial from any radio station,
WFBT.
Okay, if I'm going to buy an ad from WFBT and
they're not available. Oh, we're just giving them away. They're not available.
And I'm going in Wilmington, and I'm going to, and the ad will be about somebody that's running for government down there.
Mm-hmm.
I have to let the city know that I bought it, or you guys have to tell them that you guys, I mean, the station has to tell the city, somebody just bought an ad and they're promoting XYZ.
No,
what do you mean?
Not in North Carolina or Wilmington, but there are FCC regulations when it comes to radio and TV for election ads. You have to charge the same rate for everybody.
That's fine. That's okay. That's okay.
Well,
the city of Wilmington,
okay, but it's the law. But the question is, who has jurisdiction? The radio has jurisdiction as the FCC, is what Nick is saying, and he is correct for once. And
every once in a while.
But the issue becomes, what jurisdiction does the city have with their city regulations over Facebook? Do they have control? And if somebody had called me and asked me from Seattle and said, what are our rights? I'd say, well, I don't know. You're probably in new territory. But at the same time, I would suggest that you investigate whether the obligation to you is with the candidate or with the medium.
Well, it just seems to me like that's too much
burden.
Trying to control.
Come on, Amnon. Listen to what you're saying. Play this back and listen to what you just said. Government is too much trying to control.
But that's a local government going against
Yes.
What they do.
I'm studying homeowners associations. You want to talk about people obsessed with power? Gee whiz. Oh, by the way, before I forget about it, Gene, you might want to get rid of Windows 10 on that small travel laptop. Okay, there we go. No, it's power. These people think they're invincible. They get elected to these terrible offices and think that they've got power. Town of Cary, we got city council people in the town of Cary who just consumed with what they think is power.
Yeah, I told you that Ron, him and his wife got tired of the homeowner association. It was in the news, I think, last year or week before. And they wanted to have a meeting, a special meeting, and they threatened them with letters and all that they cannot have it, but they went ahead and they did it, and they got enough support, and they got rid of the board and the attorney that was being involved every time a decision has to be made, and they voted a new board and a new management company, and everybody now is happy.
Now, I guarantee you everyone is not happy.
Well, not everybody. She said there are two of them that are really bad still, but even those that were against them now are coming back and playing nice.
Well, for now, but I will tell you that you are playing with the devil when you start messing with an HOA. These guys, when they get on their tears, I'm going to say this, we'll get off of it because we're going to need to do specials, but the HOAs were created primarily to protect white people against intrusion, against blacks, Jews, homosexuals, things like that. So it's really interesting that they're so popular among these elitist leftist communities.
Yeah. Well, this is one HOA that was disbanded.
But that's the way it's supposed to work. They're supposed,
Yeah.
the people who are being controlled, as long as they are given the power to control themselves,
Right.
then that's okay. That's not a problem. The problem is the very many, the mega number of HOAs that are still controlled by the land developers who don't even live there.
Yep.
You have no say so. You can't vote them out. They control the board. Anyway, we got specials.
Anyway, specials. Spence,
We have specials.
are you ready for it?
We have 2 cents a byte for memory.
2 cents
Oh,
worth?
wait a minute. No, that ad is about 30 years old. Sorry. All right. Are we ready?
Yep.
All right. Computers 2K Now specials for February 11th, 2018. Is that what this is? Is that what it is? February 11th already?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Oh, well. Laptops at Best Buy. We've got a Dell 2-in-1 13.3
You're
inch
not.
touchscreen.
Wait a second. You're not going to tell us what these pictures are?
Wait, where are the
Oh,
CDs? Hold on. Where are the CDs in this picture?
CDs are hidden behind the in the console the lady's talking on right
Oh.
there.
At the Best Buy, you have CDs as well?
Absolutely.
Sorry.
So this is my home computing network. This picture right here, and that's my very capable assistant there answering the phone. We have lots of computing power.
Assistant.
Yes, and then there's the lady with the lovely hairdo there with the very latest technology. Yep.
NATO.
Laptops.
All right.
So at Best Buy, we've got a Intel Core 5 8 gig convertible touchscreen laptop / tablet for $749. That's $100 off. Office Depot has a HP Pavilion 15.6-inch Core i7 for $549, which is $250 off the regular price. And Staples has a Lenovo IdeaPad Core i5 for $499, which is $220 off the regular price. Amnon, you really need to increase the budget for the show because we can't just buy one of each of these. We need more.
It's not enough that you get them.
No, I mean, I got these boxes. The whole house is filled with boxes of stuff that I bought every week. I don't have enough time to play with them all. It's getting bad. Can't live here anymore. Desktops, Lenovo Idea Center AMD A12 processor, 12 gig of memory for $449. That's $80 off the regular price at Best Buy. Office Depot has an HP Pavilion i5 desktop for $499, save $150. And Staples has Lenovo Idea Center AMD A9 entry-level desktop for $299, which is $100 off. Best Buy has an Insignia 10.1-inch 32 gig tablet for $99. They have Office Depot has a Microsoft Surface Pro i5 for $799. That's $200 off the regular price. And Staples has a Samsung Galaxy Tab E. Is that a new machine? Never heard of the Tab E before.
Don't know.
Oh, well, how come the price doesn't show up there? That's weird. It's like 167 something dollars. But
TBA.
that's, 16 gig. That's weird. It must have got
All
caught
right.
up somehow. All right, doesn't matter. Moving along, networking products. It seems like it's Netgear Day. I know that'll make Mike happy. Netgear at Best Buy, they've got an AC 1200 dual band Wi-Fi router for $78.99, $11 off. Office Depot has 20% off all Netgear cable modems, range extenders, and so on. And Staples has, this is a good deal, 16-port ProSafe Netgear gigabit desktop switch for $79.
That's very nice.
And those are nice switches, though. I mean, I still have the old, the Netgear metal case switches and hubs. I still have some. I saved one hub for old time's sake, Ethernet hub, just to have it. but I've got lots of 10100 and 100 1000, both Netgear and TP-Link switches in the house still. Storage, we've got at Best Buy, I've got a Samsung solid state drive, 500 gig for $169. That's 20 off. Office Depot has Western Digital USB 3.0 1 gigabyte portable drive for $59. And Seagate Backup Plus 6 terabytes, Amnon, for $129.99. USB 3.0.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
That's it. Well, why not? Go big, right? Go big or go home. All right, accessories. Logitech C922 ProStream webcam for $79. Best Buy, 20 off. Office Depot has APC 900 VA battery backup for $79. That's $20 off the regular price. And Staples has Apple TV 4K with 32 gig. And I understand, my son is telling me that the new menu and OS for Apple TV is actually quite nice. I still have the older one. I can't upgrade it. But $169, which is $10 off the regular price. This is for you, Amnon, the Samsung 49-inch curved monitor. It's only $1299.99, 200 off. But wouldn't that be awesome to have that 49 inches? Wow.
I don't know.
That'd be something. Be immersive anyway. That's a Best Buy. Office Depot has a 32-inch LED monitor for $199, which is $100 off. You may be able to find a TV that's cheaper for the same size, not much cheaper, but that would also give you adequate, make an adequate monitor, but may not have the same resolution. Samsung 24-inch monitor at Staples for $119, $60 off. Printers and scanners. Notice how the prices on color lasers have been coming down across the board, across manufacturers. So now we've got a Brother color laser. This is a business class machine, duplex with wireless, $199, 50 off. Always check the price of the supplies. My daughter was telling me they have a big, I don't remember what brand it was, but a big color laser at work that they've had for years, and the supplies are very expensive. And she said she's found them online now for much cheaper than they ever expected, so they're starting to use it more. Office Depot has a Brother wireless duplex monochrome laser printer for $99. That's 30 off. This is the new model. It's a little more compact, keeping in line with their excellent, really small laser printers there. And finally, Staples has a Canon wireless why they call it single function, I'm not sure. I guess it's one sheet at a time. You have to feed it by hand. I can't tell. But if you do need a portable color inkjet printer, this is a Canon Pixma IP110, $179, which is $70 off the regular price. Home automation and security. Now, this sale on this security system is not in the weekly ad, but it's still an excellent sale. If anybody's familiar with Simply Safe, it's one of the first companies out there to offer a user-installed, totally wireless home security system. I know several people that have this and like it very much. You can use it without monitoring, but monitoring costs $15 a month. That's monitoring to fire and police through their system, which is actually very reasonable. But to add applications like having your smartphone utilities, you have to pay for that subscription, which makes it more expensive. But this particular model, this is the older original system, still very good. They've come up with their new ones. That's why you'll see the older stuff on sale. This is a great deal, $188, and it includes 4 contact sensors, a motion sensor, keypad, a base station, and a USB key fob. And they said one additional free item, and it turns out that's a smoke detector, water detector, and what was the third thing?
Temperature
detector. No, not carbon monoxide, but it's a combination smoke detector, temperature detector, and water leak detector. And that would be it says it's somewhere in here. If you go to the ad, it'll say +1 free item. And when I clicked on that, it showed that that sensor for $188. That is a heck of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's $91 off the regular price. Office Depot Office Max has a Google Home speaker for $99. That's 30 off. Again, that's not a regular ad. That's not part of the weekly ad, but it is available online for that price. And Staples has a TP Smart Wi-Fi light switch, a replacement for a standard wall switch. It is not a dimmer. $34.99, $5 off. And it is individually programmable using Alexa. And I think there's a smart app you can use too. So if you want to set up programmable lighting in your home for when you're away, or just to have something go on during the day, that's you can use Alexa to program it, which is nice. At Staples. And finally at Fry's, we've got some interesting stuff there. We've got Diamond 5K Ultra docking station, supports 2 HDMI displays, 1 gigabit Ethernet port, 6 USB 3.0, and line mini plug line in and out microphone for $179, $20 off.
How's it connecting to the PC or whatever?
It's magic.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I clicked on it to look through to find those details.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to guess it's either USB-C or regular USB 3.0. Either that or it uses duct tape. We'll see. Okay. Compact personal safety system, WearSafe it's called. This is interesting because you can actually now give somebody a fob. Now, this is not a free service, right? You have to pay for this service, monthly service fee required. You need a smartphone to connect this to, but this is something that will track your location and actually you can press the button and talk to other people. It's not to 911, but say you've got a teenager or a child out there, and they're out and they run into trouble and they can't get to their phone. You just press the button on this and it sends the audio to the people on the other end, which is actually a pretty interesting thing. And it tells that person where you are.
It's like the old Sprint Nextel phones with the little walkie-talkie on the back.
Kind of. But it will, I'm gonna. So if you're a drug dealer and you get into trouble and you want to report back to the boss, you just press that button and it records the conversation, and you know exactly where that person.
The number one use though would be to report they'd lost their cell phone. Oh my God, I've lost my cell phone. Call 911.
Yep, absolutely. Here's another interesting product. This is called a Smooth Talker. It's 2 versions of signal booster for 4G, 3G, 2G. So if you have a large space where you have poor coverage, you can put out an external antenna outside the building and then rebroadcast within the building. And these 2 different models covered 2 different size buildings. So interesting. It's essentially a repeater for mobile phones and mobile data.
Cell phones.
Yep. LG internal 16x Blu-ray reader writer for $69, which is $10 off the regular price. 2 USB 3.0 products. One is a 4-port powered USB hub for $19. The USB 3.0 stuff is not typically cheap, especially powered ones. This is a good deal. It's $20 off the regular price. They've got a USB 3.0 all-in-one card reader. Yeah, I love it. It says 58.
I know. I was just looking at it. What in the world?
Wow. That's just amazing when there's only 5 slots.
Yeah.
So dual power cable, whatever, but it's reasonable. It's only $14.99. And finally, if you've been looking for a large home storage device, home cloud device, MyCloud 8 terabytes from Western Digital. This is a good deal. $359, 10% off, which is $40 off the regular price. Most people don't need this size. It's actually 2 drives and does support RAID. So it's maximum 8 terabytes, but I think you can run different versions of RAID too to get even higher reliability out of it. But if you've never used Western Digital MyCloud backup, you want to have an easy way to set up backup from smart devices and computers in your house. Their software is actually quite good. And I have most of my machines as one of my backup methods, actually backing up documents and so on to my MyCloud. I have a 2 terabyte version. It also works with Mac. So I have my MacBook backing up using the Apple built-in Time Machine software to the drive. The only problem I have with that is sometimes when I make the Mac sleep and I open it up again, I have to manually reconnect to the drive. I don't know what the deal is with that. I have an older Mac, so it could be that. And that is it for specials for February 11th, 2018.
Well, thank you.
And we'll be doing tours of my very, very modern-looking computing center by appointment only. Looks like something out of remember the TV show, The Avengers? Not The Avengers, I'm sorry. What was the other one that had The Prisoner? Do you remember that, Amnon?
No.
The guy who was the secret agent that basically got burned, and they put him on this special place where he could never leave.
Looks like Get Smart to me.
Yeah, pretty much the same era, 1960s, absolutely. So, all right.
So I have a question here. I have a Dell 5100C in color laser printer. This thing has got to be 15 years old. Works like a champ. It is showing its age. And whenever it tells me that I need to replace the toner cartridge, I ignore it because it'll run another year with the error. But it finally got to where it would not print yesterday because it needed which one was it? No, it didn't need a drum. It needed the cyan cartridge. It has 4 individual cartridges, black, cyan, yellow. And
so you mean it will actually stop printing instead of just print wrong colors?
Correct. But when it stops, it's out.
Yeah.
I even took it out and shook it and all that, and it didn't work, which you can really, because I don't print so much that it's a big deal. Anyway, of course, I had a backup in stock. I've been buying them for years on eBay. I bought them years ago on eBay for dirt cheap. I mean, these things are ridiculously expensive new. But here's my question. I just bought, I don't know that I'll ever need another cyan because we bought a new printer. It's still in the box. Susan got it for Christmas, but maybe one day we will get it set up, in which case I will do most of my printing on that. But having said that, I went into eBay and found one, genuine OEM, brand new, not in the original carton, $6.95, including shipping, from a guy who has 99% approval ratings. I bought it. We'll see. It's just amazing what you can get if you know what to look for and you don't get it stuck to you.
Yeah.
But having said that, I also, just as a matter of curiosity, started clicking on some things, and I see, and here's what the question I'm getting to. This one needs a new fuser, a new drum. It needs everything. It's getting worn out. It had a lot of mileage on it when I got it. Had I bought it new, I would never wear it out, I don't think. But I did not buy it new. So I clicked on new sealed, genuine Dell laser printer imaging drum, 100% new factory sealed box, genuine Dell. Now get this. This guy has 99.6 positive ratings, 7,649 sales reviews actually on eBay. He has sold 208 of these things and has more than 10 available. Now, where the heck have these things been stored for the last 10 years that somebody's got 300, 400, 500, 600 of these things in inventory? Who carries that kind of inventory?
A lot of people, and these are people who are going to sell it. I mean, so they buy it for cheap. How much are they?
$75.
Yeah. See, but the only problem with something like this is if it's that old of a printer and it's in the box, it really matters where it was stored, because if it was in a warehouse where it wasn't temperature controlled, the heat would damage the gears and the
Well, it's the
rubber.
photoresistive type transfer chemicals that I understand are the ones that are most at risk. But what's interesting, and I don't disagree with what you're saying, but it's 100% buyer satisfaction so far.
Yeah, which is fine. You know, I mean, it may work, but I wonder how I'm not talking about the actual printing process that is going to get. I'm talking about the feeds, the gears that feed, and the little rubber things that pick up the paper. Those things are so. But yeah, I mean, look, you can get it. You have one. You can get that, but you already have a new one. Never mind.
Well, I'm going to have that in a different part of the house. I mean, it takes 15 minutes to get to the other side of the house. So I think that if I can keep this going at a small price, I'm going to do it. But I don't want to do is go spend $200-300 on parts, and then all of a sudden I get an error. And
I know. Well, I mean, if it still works, you are assuming that it's going to need this and going to need this and it's going to need this. I still have an HP2. No, HP3.
How does that work with Windows 10?
I'm not using it. I mean, every now and then I'll just print something on it. I don't have Windows 10, but I don't see why it will not work, because I'll bet you it's built right into Windows. With Windows 7, it's right into the drivers of Windows. There, so they don't need anything, and it still works. So don't assume that you're going to have to replace parts on it. Just use it when it breaks.
What I'm telling you, Amnon, is the image is today.
Yeah.
It needs those parts.
Oh,
it not badly, but you can see the deterioration. It had a lot of prints on it when I only gave $50 for it.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
5
that's
years
different.
ago.
I thought you meant it's working, but you.
No. It's for what I'm using it for now. It's fine. With me having another printer that will do high quality color prints, I can live with this one continuing to deteriorate for what I use it for.
And it's probably also bigger than what a current one that you can get.
Same size. In fact, what I did, I thought I talked about this, but whenever Susan wanted a color printer of her own for Christmas, what I did was I contacted Dell. I said, I want to know what the 2018 replacement is for the Dell 5100 CN. She gave me the number. I looked at it. It looked to be the same type of printer, so I ordered it. And 3 days later, Susan said, oh, by the way, don't get me a big printer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still in the box.
Huh? Yeah, I mean, the way that I treat, if I find something that's real good deal on Craigslist, I'll get it as a spare, and that's it. And then I'll wait until that printer will die. And at that point, you don't spend any more money on it, and you just put another one there and keep going. And that's where those brothers are really, I mean, I'm impressed.
I love that my brother, I don't know what model, 1212 or something like that.
Yeah.
Is it color or black and white?
Black and white.
I gave my daughter a black and white Brother laser, and it's an okay printer. It's not an HP.
I don't see any difference. They're both 600.
I rarely print on it, but when I do it, I mean, when I print, it's just a regular text document, so it's not normally anything crazy.
I just posted a link to the latest Backblaze hard drive ratings.
That's
how does Toshiba rate?
Well, hang on. If anyone, you have to be careful with these. That's why I'm getting ready to give you the lowdown. Backblaze is an online backup company like Carbonite. They use, I have no clue what their setup looks like, but they use a lot of very standard hard drives in their system, and they're in RAID arrays. So whenever they lose a hard drive, all they have to do is pull it out, put another one in, it rebuilds, and they get back to the business at hand. What they have done for the last many years is kept track of the number of failures they've had with particular hard drives. They are testing now, for example, they have this list that I'm looking at now. There are multiple lists. The drive count, they have 7,220 Seagate 12 terabyte hard drives.
Wow, it's incredible.
1,220 10 terabytes, 9,008 terabytes, 14,008 terabytes, 32,004 terabytes. So what they've got here are real world statistics based on their experience. The ones that, and these things are hard to read. It's hard to get you can't, in my opinion, look at this list and decide, okay, I've got to have this drive because I've got to buy the Seagate drive because it's the best. Well, that model has performed well, and 2 or 3 below it has been terrible. I don't know that case in point, Seagate, these are both 4 terabyte drives. ST4000DM000, 4 terabyte. They have 32,000 of them. They have a 2.89% failure rate. The next item listed, Seagate ST4000DM001. The only difference between those two is a 000, 001. It also is a 4 terabyte drive. They have 392 of those. Their failure rate on those is 9%. So you look at those, and what that tells you, I mean, what that would suggest is that that maybe the 001s had a bad run of drives. So you can't look at these and say, okay, the ST4000 series from Seagate is the only one to buy. The only real trends that I see here, and if you guys can read it differently, it'd be interesting. But having watched these for the last few years, the only real drive that I see that is consistently a top performer is HGST, which is Hitachi.
They're good drives, no doubt about it.
The last one I bought for a backup was a Hitachi drive. Well, I bought one off of their list, and I mean, so far, who knows if it's going to go out today? But
I'm in the market for a new hard drive, and I'm very disappointed with Seagate, or not Seagate, Western Digital's pricing. They have not come down on their pricing at all with their 2 terabyte hard drives, and Toshiba and everybody else is beating them by 30, 40, 50 bucks.
I'd avoid them like the plague, but they lost me. You remember, Amnon, when they they took their green drives and relabeled them as blue drives?
Yeah.
Well, I've been using their WD blacks, which I've always had I've never had a problem with. I just always needed more storage space, and they want $125 for a 2 terabyte hard drive, which Toshiba is making.
Why would you do that? But that's the black drive, right?
Yeah,
that's
it is
because those are the only ones that pass all the test criteria.
Well, I thought of that, and then I found this website. I sent it to Amnon. Him and I were chatting about it. There's a website that does spec comparisons on drives, and there's a Toshiba 2 terabyte that's like $82, and they're, for what I'm doing, they're pretty much the damn same, except for the price. And the Toshiba drive is about 3 years newer than the WD Black revision, which has been out for 5 or 6 years.
If you look at this chart, the only thing you would buy, in my opinion, would be the HGST.
I don't need a 4 terabyte drive.
You don't know that.
I'm not spending $200 on a 4 terabyte
You don't have to
drive.
spend $2.
No, I said
$200.
HGST.
Look it up.
Model number?
All right, look this one up. Let's make up one here. Let's look up with the lowest, 17.4.
Yeah,
these are all going to be the same. HMS 5C.
HMS 5C.
4040.
Yep.
ALE 640.
Drives $138.
That's not $200.
No, it's not.
Shop
It's
around.
normally $276. It's on sale.
Yeah, I mean, it's a heck of a deal. 4 terabyte drive.
Yeah.
I
Only one left.
always, for the servers, I always bought used drives on eBay, pulls, because a lot of these, first of all, I mean, and yes, they're not just straight SATA, they're SAS, so they're a little bit better quality, but they, after 2, 3, 4 years, they pull them out, and when they upgrade servers, and I never had a problem with a hard drive. These things run 24/7 forever. So, and they're all, well, most of them that I can remember are Hitachis.
That plus Amnon, there's some support for the idea that leaving them running 24/7 is better than powering your computer
Yes,
on and
there
off
is.
every day.
Right. But I mean, when you're talking about buying a 640 gig drive for $14 versus new one for about 150, it's a big difference. And it makes sense to do it that way.
Well, here's my attitude about hard drives. If you look at these charts, there's one thing you have to understand. All hard drives fail.
Yeah, sooner or later, yeah.
You have to assume that the one you're buying that has a previously 0% failure rate, you've got the curve buster right there in your hands, and you need to make sure you have backups.
Yeah, well, you see, that's the advantage that you have when you're talking about being in a server. So there are 8 of these drives there, and 3 of them are spares to the RAID. And so if something happens, they get replaced automatically, so to speak. So I don't need to worry about it much. But I'm talking about the quality of the drives. You were talking about AGST. And yes, they are good drives. Absolutely.
I would absolutely purchase one of those as my first choice today. That could change tomorrow, but today that's what I would buy. This is well now. So you got to be careful here, because I was just looking down to have a Seagate drive that has a 29.08% failure rate, but they only have 60 of them.
Yeah.
And that could have been one bad run that was solved in the next firmware update. I mean, you don't know those things. You just cannot look at these and say that they are that these numbers are going to be your numbers. I'm looking at a Western Digital 3 terabyte drive. They have 180 of them. They've had 0 failures. And you remember Amnon, when the 3 terabytes came out, there was a there was a real bad run of these things, and we were advising people to go with either 2 or 4. Stay away from 3s.
Yep, I remember. Absolutely.
So I've got an interesting problem.
Boy, do you what?
Yeah. So I was under the impression that my Outlook 2016 profile was corrupt because my version of Outlook for work will not open on my computer here.
Mm-hmm.
Upon further investigation, none of the Office 365 products will launch, and I've already reinstalled Office twice now.
But this is only on your computer. I mean, you don't.
Correct.
Okay.
Every Office product, Excel, Word, Publisher, PowerPoint, Outlook, nothing will open. They all crash on startup. I've uninstalled, I used Revo's uninstaller, so it wiped everything out, and I've reinstalled it, and it's still happening. What the hell do I do?
Honestly, you need to call Microsoft, because whenever you have a current product that you're paying for, they'll stay on the phone with you for 4 hours.
I mean, I don't understand how it seems like it's got to be something with their authentication or something that would cause all of the Office products to crash.
It's probably one bad DLL.
And what version of it is it?
365, Outlook 26. Yeah, I just downloaded it.
Maybe you have to reinstall Windows.
Yeah, that's all. I've got time for that.
Nick, try spinning up a virtual machine with Windows 10 and install it there and see if it works.
Oh, I've got it on other Windows 10 computers. It works fine. No,
but I mean, just run it. Oh, well, if your Windows 10 virtual machine wouldn't necessarily be the same as your Windows 10 desktop. No. Well, unless you could take a snapshot, a virtual snapshot of your current machine, and then run it in the virtual window and see if it works. And then you'll know you've got some hardware issue, because the drivers will be different. It'll be using the emulation instead of the actual hardware. That just would be one way to find out if you actually have something in hardware that's
the smart screen closed. The smart screen closed unexpectedly the last 2 times it started. Do you want to turn this off? See if that's the issue. Nope, and it opens and crashes. Jesus, the Microsoft's a joke.
Throw it out.
I'm just going to uninstall it, and I won't do any work at home. It'll be great.
A fix to that problem: just run really old Office stuff.
I can't because it's Office 365. It all has to.
I've got Office 2003.
Oh, there you go.
That'll work.
Yeah, and it'll work.
So, all right, got bad news for Apple folk. Bleeping Computer, which is probably one of the best security sites in existence, has released an article today that malicious app developers can secretly abuse a Mac OS API function to take screenshots of the user's screen and then use optical character recognition to programmatically read the text found in the image. The function is CG window list create image, often used by Mac apps, and to take screenshots or live stream a user's desktop. According to Fastlane Tools founder Felix Krause, any Mac app, sandboxed or not, can access this function and secretly take screenshots of the user's screen. Krause argues that miscreants can abuse this privacy loophole and use CG window list create image to take screenshots of the screen without the user's permission. In experiments he carried out, Krause says he was able to use an OCR library to read various types of information captured using CG Windows List Create Image. He argues that an attacker can read passwords and keys from password managers, read sensitive source API keys or similar data, read emails and messages users open on their Macs, detect what web services users employ, such as email providers, password managers, app lists, etc., learn personal information about the user, like their bank details, salary, address, and so forth. The researcher filed a bug with Apple yesterday, letting the company know of the issue he found. And here's the interesting part. Krause also went public with his findings on his blog, which is a strange move, as most researchers give companies time to fix reported issues. It may be that the feature has already been abused for such attacks. Bleeping Computer has reached out to the researcher for comment on his motives. You can read the rest of the article at the link I posted in chat. So these arrogant little people are going to get their comeuppance if they're not careful. And by the way, if you don't know who Bleeping Computer is, you're on a computer show, you're interested, you really should go to their website and see if there's anything there that interests you. If it is, you might want to subscribe to their email list. It's really good stuff. They don't just send out garbage.
Okay.
Lenovo to recall over 83,000 ThinkPad X1 Carbon laptops due to fire hazard.
Yep. I have a customer that just missed the serial number list by about 200 machines. Had bought 2 brand new X1s, which I set up a year and a half ago, and they just missed the run that started that had all these bad machines.
Lenovo announced yesterday plans to recall tens of thousands of ThinkPad X1 Carbon 5th generation laptops due to a loose screw that may cause the laptop's battery to catch fire. Yes, you read that right. According to a statement Lenovo published online late yesterday, the company has determined that a limited number of systems may have an unfastened screw that can damage the battery, causing overheating, potentially posing a fire hazard. The Chinese company says that the ThinkPad X1 Carbon 5th generation laptops manufactured between December 2016 and October 2017 are affected. ThinkPad X1 Carbon laptops have been hailed as one of the best laptops consumers can buy on the market, with an excellent price-feature ratio. These laptops are usually sold at prices ranging between $1,100 and $2,600 from both Lenovo's official site, but also via many authorized resellers. Guess what my work laptop is?
Yeah, you have an X1, right?
Yep.
Is it in the numbers? You check?
I don't know. I just saw this when I clicked on it, and that's why I saw
this. Your laptop with you?
Yeah, I have the link somewhere to go and check the.
But here's the thing about Bleeping Computer. When you go there and read this stuff, it's not fake news. It's only as good as the information they get, and I'm sure there's a bunch of crap that goes on that sometimes they have to print retractions. But they are a very credible site. You can pretty much trust what you see there, and it's not sensationalized either.
It's not supposed to be.
Well, you tell the NNO that.
Yeah. Good point.
Follow them on Twitter too.
So Nick,
Yes, sir.
where's Bitcoin now?
It was at
$3.
no, it was at like 8,500 yesterday. Let's see.
This
8,300.
yeah.
Look for legislation. They're actually starting to either want to regulate or ban, in some cases, cryptocurrencies.
Well, they've got a lot of some major credit card companies are no longer allowing purchases through of cryptocurrencies.
So this article goes the tumble
Whoa,
of
whoa! Wait a minute. Let's
Yeah.
make sure we lay
Yeah.
that out correctly. You have never, for the most part, you've never been able to buy stocks on a margin using credit card.
Correct.
Because so many people end up losing their houses and so forth, and the credit card companies lose on unsecured debts. And all they're saying is that they're not going to let you buy Bitcoin or cryptocurrency on credit.
right.
And it's not necessarily because of instability in the cryptocurrency market. It's that people can't control themselves.
Well,
So now, go ahead.
but this article is taking it even a little bit farther for those that dabble in it. The tumble in cryptocurrencies that erased nearly 500 billion of market value over the past month could get a lot worse, according to Goldman Sachs Group's global head of investment research. Most digital currencies are unlikely to survive in their current form, and investors should prepare for coins to lose all their value as they are replaced by a small set of future competitors. And he says on a report from February 5th, while he didn't post a time frame for losses in existing coins, he said recent price swings indicated a bubble and that the tendency for different tokens to move in lockstep wasn't rational for a few winner-take-most market. The high correlation between the different cryptocurrencies worried me, he said, because of the lack of intrinsic value.
Intrinsic.
The currencies that don't survive will most likely trade to zero. So it's and you see new ones coming up all the time, and people are talking about this and that. The more I read about it, the more I said, no, I'm keeping my money, the little bit that I have, safe. That is not the way to do it.
The problem with keeping it safe is it deteriorates. It's like buying a brand new car and putting it up on cinder blocks. It'll deteriorate. Money deteriorates because of inflation.
Yeah.
For example, I will warn everybody out there right now that the Bitcoin / Litecoin cryptocurrency market is going to plummet because I just bought in. That's the way it works. But I bought at 142. It's at 153. Do that in the stock market.
I don't know. I don't do any of that. So,
Oh, it's just play.
yeah.
Yep.
And iPhone 10 woes. A number of iPhone 10 users are complaining about a bug that leaves them unable to answer incoming calls. Reports of the bug are spreading through Apple's support forum, and the company says it is looking into the problem. People who are experiencing the bug say that when they receive a call, their iPhone 10 rings, but the screen does not wake up. While the problem has been around for a couple of months, complaints seems to be growing in numbers at the moment. So you get a call and you can't answer it. Yeah, Mom, I'm here. I'm fine. No, I can't answer it. You're stuck.
That's just unreasonable. You should never expect an iPhone to be useful as a telephone.
You know, the other day I had to jump in the car and go to a customer site and ended up with my cordless phone in my pocket. I realized it about a mile from the house. And I said, do I go back or do I go to the customer because they needed me? I went to the customer, but I tell you, I was stressed out. Because, I mean, what happens if you get a flat tire? And you want to call
That's why you carry a
AAA?
cell phone with you.
You know, I mean, no, little things like that. You know,
You stand up beside your car, you
Yep.
scream and
Yeah.
stamp your feet, and
Right.
people stop and say, "What's wrong?"
Carry a cell phone with you. That's the solution.
it's amazing. I'm saying, I didn't have cell phone all my life. Why does it get to this point now?
Things change, Amnon.
Yeah, obviously.
Things change. And like CDs, people don't buy CDs anymore.
Now, talking about streaming stuff, Viacom is planning to launch its own ad-supported streaming service by September 2018. That's ad-supported, so it's not going to cost you, I guess. The end of its fiscal year. The service will include tens of thousands of hours of content from across Viacom library. So here is more options for cord cutters. I mean, it's September, but it's nice to know that they're doing it, and it's ad supported. I'm fine with ad supported. What else? Come on, guys. Nobody?
Yeah, I had something. I don't remember where it happened. I'm looking for it.
All right. This is also nice about Facebook. Ever since the inception of the like button, Facebook users have been asking for a dislike button. Last week, Facebook started testing a downvote button with certain users in the comment section of posts within Facebook groups and on old Facebook memories content. What is old Facebook memories content? I have no idea. But they're using a downvote or dislike.
Like Reddit. Upvote
Like
or
Reddit.
downvote.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I agree with downvoting.
Well, it's not going to be a physical downvote. It's just going to be a dislike.
Even that it is so destructive. I mean, there's so many jackasses in the world that go in and downvote and they don't even bother to read it. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, just move on.
People are abusing stuff like that, and
totally abusing it.
And this has nothing to do with computers. But you heard what is that? Shoot, I forgot the name of the company where you can return the clothes years and years after.
Oh, LL Bean.
LL Bean.
Almost all of them will do that.
They're going to stop it because
No, that's not. No. That I thought the same thing. That's not true.
What?
They're stopping returns,
Yeah.
full returns after 1 year. They
That's
still
right.
allow you to.
Oh,
They
yeah,
still
yeah,
allow
yeah.
you to go and exchange.
Right.
But that's what he said.
But the point is that they're saying they're doing this because a lot of people are abusing it.
Of course. I mean, do you really need a year to return something for full price?
And no, I
year?
mean, you know, we were watching it. We were in the living room, and I said to Kathy, what is there? What's the problem here? She said a lot of people go and they buy LL Bean clothes on Craigslist, on eBay, on flea markets, and they go and they get a refund for it, or they exchange it after years. Yeah, I agree. I mean, more than a year. Come on, give me a break.
Well, I'll tell you what I did have happen. I bought some some shirts from what's one of the other big online companies.
I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch
Walmart,
of them.
No.
Amazon,
LL
Macy's,
No. Who was the one you said was changing their policy?
LL Bean.
LL Bean.
May have been them. But anyway, I have these particular shirts that I really like. I've bought about 50 of them from them. And I had several of them that actually my watch tore up the sleeve. and somewhere along the way they sent out a "How are we doing?" And I said, "Well, I used to be a big fan of these things, but they tore up the sleeves on them, and that doesn't make sense because there's no sharp edges on the watch. It doesn't make sense they're doing that."
Mm-hmm.
They said, "Well, how many did it happen to?" And I think I had 4, and they sent me 4 brand new shirts, and it had been probably 2 or 3 years. But I mean, it's at the point where you throw them away. But I try to be fair about it. I mean, if you get a couple of years out of a shirt and not complain about it, they are cloth and they don't last forever.
A good point.
By the way, for anybody who's interested in aviation, I haven't heard anything from Spence lately. Is he still here?
He is not.
Oh, he's out playing in the snow. So if there's I'll offer this for what it's worth. I don't think I've mentioned this before. The AOPA, Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association, has a website, and don't worry that the CEO there makes $800,000 a year for a nonprofit, but they have a podcast on there. It's not a real professional podcast, but it's interesting. It's called Never Again. It's where the guy reads the Never Again stories out of the AOPA Pilot magazine since 2009. If you have any interest at all in aviation, you might want to listen to that. I've got about 3 left, and I will have listened to every one of them. I find them pretty fascinating about what some pilots get themselves into. I have a couple of stories I could put on there. If you don't know anything about aviation, it may be a little hard to follow because they get into a lot of acronyms and abbreviations and some of the stuff even I don't understand for the instrument rated pilots. But I will offer that to you if you're looking for something to listen to in the car on a trip or whatever. It's kind of fun.
And here's something else that I thought about Nick. Notorious smartphone leaker Evan Blass has leaked a couple press images of the Galaxy S9, giving us the first indication that it will still have a headphone jack.
Oh, thank God.
And the reason I'm saying I was thinking about Nick is when he was here last week, I have one of those Audio-Technica lav mic that has the four connector plug on it.
Combo jack.
Yeah. And I can choose it here. I don't have a converter for it. So I said, here, you can have it if you can use it on, because it's made for a cell phone. And he said, yeah, let me try it. So he took it and I said, does your phone have it? I said, oh, shoot. No, it does.
Didn't have my dongle. I left my dongle at.
This is a family show. Let's not get into that.
Sorry. My dongle was missing.
Well, that's a personal problem. We don't want to hear about it.
I did buy another one, though. I have 2 of them now.
A what? Oh, the dongle.
Yeah, Spence, I used that splitter you recommended.
Yeah.
With just the regular 2 lightnings. It was perfect, up and down from Raleigh, 2 hours each way, no disconnects. It was good.
Don't touch any static electricity.
No, I don't want to fry. I'm leaving it in the car. It's always plugged in. So I got one final thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is a big one. This is gonna be a big one for.
That's what they always say.
For sites on the internet. Starting in July, Google, with their Chrome product, will mark all HTTP sites not secure. Starting July 1st.
Wow.
And they will also, as they've been talking about, since like a couple of years ago, they've been downranking unencrypted sites. So there's a little image in here of what.
There you go. You and Sean need to set up a business about we'll fix your site security problems and learn how to get them a certificate, plug it in, charge them a couple of $100, spend 10 minutes, you're good to go.
So that's how it will look. Right now, it just shows example.com. In July, it will say not secure example.com. Now, how big of a deal is that for sites that aren't doing any type of transactional data where you're not?
I'll tell you how big it is. And I'm going to throw a barb in here, but I'm very serious. These snowflakes who are scared of the Russians will absolutely have a coronary when they see not secure.
Well, and I think for certain sites, if you're a site that takes user, like for example, we take information for giveaways every once in a while on the website. Having that not secured could potentially be an issue for some people.
But doesn't it really just mean you have to put in a free SSL certificate?
Yeah, Cloudflare offers them. The Let's Encrypt offers them. So now I've got to start figuring out who the best place to go. The problem with Let's Encrypt is you've got to freaking renew it every 3 months. It's a pain.
No, it's not a pain. Not if you do it.
What if you got
Right.
250 websites, Amnon?
I do.
What? Yeah, but see,
And
not
it's
all server,
automatic.
but you have a
3
script.
months.
But you have a script available that you can do that.
Right.
Do a cron job.
Ron fixed it, so I get
But
a
you
message.
can get one too.
The what?
Well, not on shared hosting. You can't run bash scripts.
Well, then you shouldn't be running.
No,
shared
no.
hosting.
I mean, okay. So we're converting everybody to the new server on the Note, and everybody now is getting SSL.
Good.
It's an automatic thing. And
You get warnings now. A lot of web pages will warn you this site is not
yes,
secure. Don't
absolutely.
Go
But that usually happens, though, in my experience, I'm not sure if this is what you're talking about, Spence. That usually happens when the URL is HTTPS and the certificate is not there.
there. I've seen it for both that and for ones that are just
Google
HTTP.
Chrome. I think it's Google Chrome started. If you go HTTP, it'll tell you that it's not secured. So there was some article about it that they want everything to be. And really, I mean, it's I had a few calls yesterday from people that I converted. I was sitting down yesterday converting, and we were talking about it. And I said, yeah, now it's all SSL. Oh, so do we owe you more money for it? I said, no, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Well, Komodo used to make a fortune selling
I know.
SSL.
Yeah.
What was it 40,
Yeah.
$50 a year for an SSL
More
certificate?
than that. I mean,
Oh
the
my
early
God.
days, geez, with thought,
I saw an
200,
article saying
300.
that certificates very, very soon will be free.
Well, they are free. I mean,
They are free.
Well, I mean,
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Ramnode and
good.
Let's Encrypt are the two big ones doing it right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nick, I mean, it's not that, I mean, to me, it's not a problem because it's all done automatically. And I get an email when one is about to expire. And in the beginning, I used to ask Ron, I said, why is it going to expire? I said, it's letting you know that it's going to expire, but it will do it. So you check it in 2 or 3 days. Sure enough, it just keeps on. As long as your site is available, it renews it. So it's set it and forget it kind of thing. It's nice. All right. So it's that time of day. I tell you what, we're going to stop the recording, but we're going to stay online because I need y'all's help in something with audio. Mike, don't go away.
Audio's not important.
I know. That's right. Okay. Anything anybody wants to add? No?
Yeah, Nick, when is the next curling match on?
Good question. I don't know.
Now, is there going to be a special edition of Computers 2K Now to watch curling in real time?
If,
Oh, yeah,
If Nick
absolutely.
will tell me where.
With color commentary.
So,
All right. So thanks, Mike, Spence, Nick, everybody else in the chat, and all you that tuned in. And good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Katie, and Donna. Thank you, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing, back up your hard drive, and update your virus scanner. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. While you're at it, like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tonight at 7, Nick is hosting Against the Norm on Wilmington's Big Talker, 106.7. You can listen on TuneIn. Bye, everybody.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Telestream's Wirecast software, StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.